Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're looking at the Monocrat MT-01 MEGATANK. And I've waited an eternity for this. And so did you. Now shut up. This is a third-party version of Megatron if he were to appear in the movie Bumblebee, which he didn't. So this is essentially a glorified, very pricey piece of fan art. Links in the description if you want to pick one up for yourself. At the Jobby store. They've been my primary source of third-party Transformers for a while, and they usually have the best prices as far as I can tell. So thanks to them for supporting the channel for so long, I'd recommend you support them as well. And yet, unfortunately, not a paid sponsor. I didn't even get this for free. And while calling something a piece of fan art is usually seen as a negative thing, I don't really know why. This guy is a notable exception. The painting and the sculpting of this figure is amazing. Holy fuck! Rest in peace to a real one. This guy is immediately impressive. Look how big he is! But size isn't all that matters. The detailing on this thing is off the charts. The painting is super detailed and depthful. This makes me retroactively disappointed that Megatron never showed up in the Bumblebee movie. Because if he looked like this, I would've... The Megatron Hot Topic fanboy inside of me is eating this shit up. Wow, why'd this come out so damn late? I think it's safe to say that this is one of my favorite Megatron designs ever now, even if it is a piece of fan art. But who said a piece of fan art can't be good? A brilliant design that combines the live-action aesthetic with the G1 design, extremely faithful, but a beautiful and logical modernized update. The weathering is excellently done. It's definitely present, but it's not overblown. This is what I would have liked to see with Waveman, a really appealing mix of paint finishes as well. Lovely combination of a semi-gloss metallic with a more chrome shinier metallic. And the back of the figure is clean. Did I mention this guy transforms? I mean, his name is MEGATANK. Come on, keep up. While it may look like a mechanical mess, that's only because it meant to be. The paint is also pretty durable. Encourages you to play with this thing. And trust me, you are gonna want to play with this thing. The iconic cannon is not attached out of the box, but how could I not have it here? Megatron without a cannon is like Starscream without the bitch. Looks excellent. The cannon is, of course, also incredibly detailed, but the fit ain't the best. See how easily I pulled that out? It's only connected to the arm by this little peg, which tends to be kind of wobbly. I'm sure some coom would fix that, put some in there and wiggle that around until it gets tighter. But even if you tighten that up, the actual peg is too loose for comfort. Wonder if I could fix that real quick without the use of chemicals. Just grab some tape, the same tape that I used to put the mic on, rip a little bit of that, and wrap that around the peg. That should thicken it up a good amount. Doesn't look the prettiest, but it won't matter when it's inside. Like my dick. Oh, yeah. Fuck. Hinge joint is still wobbly, but that is gonna be hard to get out. It's a good thing, right? It's not like I have to remove it for the transformation. I'll enjoy it for now. Really good fix. And besides the cannon, he comes with a few more accessories. A beautiful looking sword. That's big enough to kill myself. Ah, shit! Poke that hard enough and you will bleed. Good. Just incredible detailing on this thing. This tab plugs into his hand, and it's a really good fit. Won't be going anywhere. Hell yeah, that looks good. But a bit of a missed opportunity for some weapon storage. Almost looks like the sword can fold in some way, but nah, there's really no way to do it. Not the biggest problem at all. I'm not gonna display him with this anyway. And now we come to the head. We're also gonna talk about it. A brilliant use of the Bumblebee aesthetic. Looks mechanical while still maintaining that original G1 personality and not looking too inhuman. Admittedly, that design has grown on me throughout the years, but this is objectively better. Weirdly enough, out of the box, the head was this faceless head. Kinda creepy. I suppose you could call it a battle mask, but judging from the promotional pictures and even the instructions, it seems like this was an attempt to avoid copyright? Was the face design a copyrighted piece of artwork? Am I supporting fucking thieves? Well, if the thieves make good shit, I don't know what to do. This head has its purpose, but it's not my favorite. And finally, you get an evil grin. Kinda hard to tell that it's an evil grin, unless you look at it side by side with the normal head. Excellent detail all around, but the eyes look kind of dead. I wonder why. Open his brain, flip the switch. Yeah. A nice, but weirdly subtle light-up effect. And that's because there's only one light source inside the brain, as opposed to one for each eye. So when you turn the head, It's as if it's a Zaku with one pupil. Can't complain too much though, it looks excellent. The normal head also has the same feature, and it's just as bright. Batteries included, by the way. But if they weren't, you'd be kind of fucked because the instructions don't tell you what batteries you need. They don't tell you much of anything, actually. LR621 batteries, in case you're wondering. And going back to the cannon, there's a button that's hidden really well, which, as you could guess, lights it up. Barely noticeable. Oh, there you go. You can only really see it if you're looking straight into the barrel, which I don't advise you do. But don't it look good? Again, batteries are included, and the battery compartments are really well hidden. But again, if they weren't, instructions don't tell you shit. LR41s, by the way, just so aesthetically impressive. The only thing I would have issue with is the sticker I used. Obviously, there's no Decepticon logo out of the box. That's all I had. If they sold some kind of metal plate with the Decepticon logo engraved in it, I would buy that in a heartbeat. I'm well past caring about money. And to further improve the aesthetics, in theory, you get what seems to be a runner of screw caps. Tell me, throughout this whole review, did the screw holes bother you in any way? Didn't bother me. I'm fucking autistic. I'm not gonna use them because I don't mind the holes. And what if I needed to fix something? Gives me a clear pathway to disassemble it. Not that I would need to right now. As he is out of the box, he feels extremely absolutely nothing I feel the need to fix besides that cannon, as you saw. And that seems to be in there very tight. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how much die-cast metal is in here. I assume some of the internals. Definitely the feet, though. But I'd be surprised if this was the only die-cast metal, because he is really hefty. And as you probably could have guessed, most of the joints are ratchets. Which you know I don't have a problem with. That guarantees that his joints can hold a variety of poses. Ball joint at the head. Every ball joint can be a swivel. The neck can extend, kind of unnaturally, but allows him to look up that far. Comes off kind of easily, but that's by design. And looks down that far. This hinge joint was pretty tight out of the box, so I just went in there with some silicone grease, lubed it up, and now you can extend to your heart's content. Like my rotation at the shoulder. Oh boy. This part of the shoulder pad moves out to make way for the arm moving out. This shoulder pad assembly can swivel, by the way, allowing it to get out of the way of the cannon. Bicep swivel, bend at the elbow. Shame it doesn't bend deeper, but whatever. Swivel here, ball joint at the thumb, every ball joint, a tight hinge joint, another hinge joint, and a hinge joint, hinge joint, hinge joint on all of the fingers, individually articulated. And a hinge joint here. Waist swivel, can turn a full 360. Hopefully it doesn't snap off. It seems pretty sturdy. Just out of all the things that were ratchet joints, I wish there was a ratchet waist too. This ab part is spring-loaded, so you could push that in and then crunch the abs. Thank God it's a ratchet joint so it holds its position. A kick that's very limited. Don't worry. The whole hip assembly can move down, which allows for a proper kick. Can't move back that far. Up. A slight thigh swivel, a knee swivel, but that's more for the transformation. Double bend at the knee. All sorts of detail are revealed, including this part, which I don't like how it's just jutting out there. Thankfully, there's a hinge joint. No up or down at the ankle, damn it. The ankle guard can move, a downward toe bend, mostly for the transformation, and a pretty good pivot. Loving the liberal use of ratchet joints. I know it technically limits the posability to the amount of clicks there are in there, but I don't care. Something this big and hefty better have some ratchet joints to keep everything up. And it do. Size comparison time. Here's Figma Matic Economy, SH Monster Arts Godzilla, Transform Element OP Leader. My previous review, the Mosho Toys Date Masamune. Sorry, I took a one video break from Transformers. Come back, Transformers fans. Bingo Toys Wave Man. And how could I not bring in the Toy World Freedom Leader? Freedom Leader looking kinda different. Fantastic robot mode. I'd go so far as to say that even if he didn't transform, I'd be 100% okay with that. I'm lying. Thank Primus it transforms, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to even think about reviewing something like this. So thanks for keeping the lights on. Thanks for making it easier to live. Here's all your names during this surprisingly easy transformation. No thanks to these instructions, fucker. That tape fix didn't work for long, but now it's just sticky. Good. You'll want to be careful with that hinge joint and not bend it too far the wrong way. 100% my fault. Gonna have to get a replacement part from the Shozy store. This panel's spring-loaded, so you want to hold that in, and careful not to snap your finger. Ah! I really don't know what this black stuff is. I thought it was paint, but it hasn't dried since I got the figure. Hope it's nothing dangerous. This is also spring-loaded, so you want to keep it pulled out and rotate it. Same on the other side of the leg. I hope the process was clear enough for you. You can use it as an alternative to the shitty instructions. While they do give you a general idea of how it's done, it skips ahead way too much. There's too many hidden steps. It makes this seem more complicated than it actually is. Following these instructions almost soured the entire figure for me. I thought I was getting into another Split or Crimson Wings, but after doing it enough times, I can say that this tank mode is a joy to get to. Super satisfying, and the end result is cohesive. A lot better than something like Waveman. Although there is a part of me that wonders if they made this guy turn into a giant gun. But I'm glad they went with the tank. It's an appealing design, almost chibified, weirdly cute for Megatron, but the paint job and weathering keeps it looking hardcore. None of that pussy shit. Almost looks like a metal slug. Whatever happened to that metal slug transformer? The transformation was a good combination of being complex enough to be fun, but not enough to be annoying. Everything fits together as it should, and there's not much in the way of kibble. The thighs barely look like thighs, the chest makes a convincing front, and even the feet, basic as that process was, doesn't look distracting. What could get a little distracting is the head, which is why I recommend you switch it to the faceless head. But the normal head fits in there as well if you want to avoid parts forming. And on that topic, the cannon is not a piece of parts forming, it's just the simple weapon storage, but the kind of weapon storage that incorporates and is necessary for the completion of the alternate mode. And you're not gonna lose this big thing. At least I hope not. Please don't put it in your eyes. Light up feature still works, of course, looks great. And while this never really matters for a vehicle mode, the bottom of the tank is surprisingly clean. Always a gap though, put your weed in there. Very fun to play with, rolls surprisingly well. Treads don't actually work, but you get nice and smooth plastic wheels. Yippee! And similarly to Acoustic Wave, it's amazing how much this thing compressed, but still pretty dang big. Size comparison again. Here's Monica, Godzilla, Prime, Nade Masamune, Waveman, and Freedom Leader. The jig's already up. Subscribe so you don't miss that review. And you don't want to miss this guy. Unless the lack of opposable turret bothers you, I'd consider this yet another perfect Transformer figure.